Welcome to another move by move episode number 34, where I play rapid games and explain you my thinking process throughout the whole game. We're seeing at 23:18. It's been a very long journey. Go check out the first episode where we started at 2200. Hope you will enjoy this one. Let's find our opponent. Okay, opponent from US. Let's go E4. SJ Jose joined in 2009. Okay, so goes e5. Let's play d4. Let's play our main weapon, queen d4, knight c6. We get our queen back, and after knight f6, we'll play knight c3, protecting the pawn on e4. If bishop b4, which is the main line, we'll go bishop d2. Castle, long castle, then rook e8, queen g3, knight e4 or rook e4, and there are a lot of theoretical lines. Let's see what he will play. There is simple d6, which is a bit more passive but very solid. There is g6, there is b6, a lot of options that he might choose from, but main one, of course, is knight f6. He goes d6. Once again, as I said, not the main weapon, by far not the main weapon. And I'm thinking, will this bishop go to e7 or g6 bishop g7? Since now I really want to try to go b3 bishop b2, but I'll simply play knight c3. So now this bishop is slightly more passive than it could have been, but I guess it is what it is. Short castle and f3, g4, g5 ideas. I gotta start doing it as soon as I can. Let's go f3, and for some reason my mouse decided to not work. I almost misclicked, but this is not great. Let's go h4, and now if b5 is played at any point, I just don't think it's great. You know, I think if my knight gets to, let's say, f4 or g5, and then I start pushing my pieces to the king side, it might turn out very bad for him. Okay, he takes, and now g takes h3. You know why? Because now I start having rook g1 ideas. Yes, the pawn on h4 is weakened. I remember seeing it in the same type of position. I think Gukesh was playing against Magnus, and Gukesh got an exciting position against him. I'm not sure what game and when it was played exactly. I think it was in 2024 somewhere in one of the Grand Prix events that they have, Romkachess Tour, as far as I remember. Rook goes to g1, g6, and now I'm seriously thinking of f4, f5, or even e5. You know, the thing is, I don't think that's a move. I don't think long castle is an option here. And e5 and bishop g2, I might even think of sacrificing this one. The only thing I'm worried about is that, you know, it might not work out. But let's go bishop g2, putting the bishop on this long diagonal. It might get dangerous very, very soon. Knight d5 would be a very bad move. If I go e5 and then this, I don't see a way to protect. What if I go e5, he takes e5, queen f3? How do you even get this knight out of the way? Because if he takes f4, I go bishop f4. Once again, queen c6 is coming. Wait, this gotta be lost. Okay, queen goes to f3. Now this bishop is very well coordinated with my queen on f3, and it looks disastrous on this long diagonal. If he moves his knight, queen a8 is a checkmate. If king b7, which okay, might be played, but then once again, even f takes e5. And this knight has to move, right? And then bishop comes. And I still don't think that it is any good. Okay, let's go knight e4. That's the only idea he had, pretty much. Knight d4, I think knight f6 wins. Because knight f3, knight d7, and then just take. If takes once again, he has to protect. And if king b7 is played, then okay, now I don't have e5 anymore, unfortunately. So f takes e5. So yes, it gets more complicated. Let's say move like knight d5. I think I might play bishop c3, and then there is some knight f6, rook d5, rook d8, queen c6. it just doesn't look good for black here. There are still a lot of ideas. Queen d5 is played instead. I'm just curious if bishop c3 wins on the spot. Queen f4, yes. Oh, bishop c3. Oi, oi, oi. Is there an idea of going, let's say, I plan to go this way, but then I realized there's queen a2, right? And I can't even take due to queen a1 checkmate. So yes, that's actually a good move. Surprisingly, this is something that I completely missed. And if I go this way, knight c3, queen a1, knight b1, and if queen f4, yeah, bishop c3, my whole idea was queen f4, knight e4, bishop h8, and then I win in exchange. But now the problem with this is queen a2, and if I go b3, there is bishop a3. What if I go knight d2, actually? Then knight d5. And if knight c3 takes, knight d4, yeah, this doesn't look great. Oh my goodness, that's actually a great defense. Bishop e3, queen e4, and then if I go queen f2, that looks interesting, but probably not winning. Bishop e3, queen f4, queen f4, queen f4, bishop e4. This, because bishop e3, queen a2, right? And knight c3, queen a1, knight b1. And then I'm asking the question, how are you gonna protect? Okay, let's try to trick him. Let's go bishop e3. Queen f4 should be slightly better. If queen a2, I go knight c3, attacking the knight, and if queen a1, knight b1. Knight b4, queen b7 is a checkmate. So, and he has to protect this knight somehow. But probably queen f4, let's just pre-move it. Queen e4. Do I have something else like queen e2 maybe? Queen c4 takes, bishop c6. It's hard. Queen e4, queen e2, queen e6 probably just makes it super easy. Yeah, definitely something that I should have calculated before I did it. Because yeah, e5, queen f3 and e4. Maybe I just go f takes e5 and yeah, f takes e5 actually probably wins right away. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just f takes e5 and queen f3 next just wins. Well, now it's complicated. Yeah, I should have spent some time actually thinking, because f takes e5 looks like it's a loss. But now, okay, let's see, queen a2. I think he'll just go for an endgame. I don't think queen a2 works. Knight c3, knight b1, and then queen has to get out, and it's extremely tough to do so. Yes, exactly. He goes for an endgame where I thought I should be slightly better. But again, weak pawn. Yes, the knight is potentially bad as well, but this is just not good. Bishop d4, bishop e5, one of the ideas. Yes, goes this way. Bishop d4. Let's try. Oh, whoa. Okay, let's do it anyways. Because there is an idea of going rook d4, and then go bishop c5. I have to go rook d1, takes. Yes, this knight is kind of terrible, but I think it's a draw. Yeah, goes this way. Now I think bishop e5 is somewhat good. f6 just probably takes and then go back. Maybe bishop c3, knight c4. Okay, that's not that hard to find. Knight c4 now probably is an option. Maybe I should have gone for bishop c6. Oh, bishop c6. What am I even talking about? Knight c6, and I'm just lost. I'm trying to calculate knight c4, bishop c6 right now. That's the idea I have in mind. Because yes, the knight is not moving, knight is passive. f6, probably just go back. Yes, this bishop c6, what I planned. Takes. If rook goes to d8, then we're probably almost cooked, because I don't think I'll be able to get a win in this endgame. But let's see, you never know. You never know. Rook d8, and then bishop e8. Yes, goes this way. What if I go bishop d5 now? And then trying to get the pawn to ourselves. Okay. What else do I have? Maybe bishop c3. But then this pawn falls slowly. Slowly but surely. If I go b3, then just takes. I gotta keep the bishop actually. Let's go this. Yes, he takes the pawn. Yeah, I should have won this game, and now I'll struggle to actually get this win. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works somehow. Bishop d5, I believe there is knight e3, bishop f7, rook d1, bishop. Oh my goodness, so tough to play these days. Let's go maybe a4. The idea is simple, just ruin the pawn structure even more. If takes, I'll probably just take and threaten bishop g3, bishop b3. This, I believe there's rook f1 and he takes another pawn. No way. This king b1 takes, bishop f4. I take on b5 though. I take on b5, yes. Takes, bishop f4 takes, attacking this knight. And I believe bishop c6, and I might have interesting threats. One of these threats is to go rook d4. Okay, goes this way. Now let's go bishop e5. Trying to put the bishop to a very active square, and rook d3 is potentially a strong threat. I wouldn't be so sure here if I was playing with okay. What if I go rook b3? I'm trying to go rook b6 at some point. Knight b7, rook b6. Wait, and he blundered. I think it's a win. Let's go. My bishop controls everything on this file. Rook b7 is coming. On this diagonal, not file. Rook controls b file. It's a win. He blundered. 23-25. Let's go. Let's get to the analysis tab. Okay, it was a very shaky game. The moment that I thought I was winning, I was definitely winning. It was +4, but let me show you how I was supposed to play. So once again, the center game, very interesting opening. Specifically for Rapid and Blitz, I wouldn't suggest it play in over the board chess. I did a couple of times and it didn't work out perfectly. Queen f3 d6, knight c3, knight f6, and now bishop goes to d2, bishop e7, long castle, and h5 is something that I've seen for the first time. I want to show you a game in the right corner played by Jan Nepomniachtchi in 2022 in one of the Title Tuesday events against another Grandmaster, Maroni Luca Jr. So Luca went for bishop e6, f4, castle, queen goes to g3, king h8, now bishop e2, knight d4, f5. Takes, bishop c4, knight f4, c6, trying to get something going on the queen side. Queen goes to f3, queen b6, king b1, knight d7, some prophylaxis made. And now bishop c1, bishop f6, rook d6, taking the pawn, queen a5, rook d7, and now the position slowly collapsed. The idea was that after bishop c3, if queen retakes, there is a checkmate on a2, b3 was played, rook e8, rook d1, once again, you can take the bishop due to queen b4, rook d1, queen b5, queen goes takes, and now finally black resigned. Yes, one move blunder, Grandmasters blunders too, so that sometimes happens. Now let's get back to my game here. h5. So h5 is good, and guess what's the best move according to computer here? You will never guess, because that is not the move that I'll consider, but let's say you're playing against cheater and you will immediately realize that something is fishy. Bishop e1 is best, and you would only play this move if you know that's the right move. But of course h5 is never played really, and bishop e1 is very tough move to spot. After it, just to prevent queen knight g4, bishop g4 ideas from happening, a6. And I was like, okay, you move your pawns first h5, then a6, like what's your plan? h4, again not the best, and after knight h3 takes, h3 is indeed the best move. And otherwise I would probably take on h3 with the rook almost 100% of the time. But once again, I was so impressed by watching this game. Like, I'm pretty sure that was Magnus against Gukesh. Magnus ended up winning, but Gukesh has a very, very big advantage. G takes h3 is played, rook g1 was initially played, and it was interesting position. queen d7, rook g1, g6, now f4, and I'm basically telling him, buddy, if you go short, f5, you're being checkmated, you can simply resign. If you go long castle, you already played a6, you played b5, you already weakened the whole queen side. This shouldn't be an option. He goes long castle. And now a4 basically means that I probably would have won if I played a4. Immediately won, because now I'm basically telling him, buddy, you are not getting alive. Your queen side, your pawns are pushed, you created targets for yourself, and now it is gonna be a huge problem. Bishop g2 was played inside, I don't think it's bad. King b8, and now e5, d takes e5. And once again, the move that I played, queen f3, is just terrible, and as I discussed during the game, after x5, game over. Let's say knight e8, queen f4, how do we protect this knight? No way, best move is queen f6, and now I just take, pin up a piece. So queen f3 is just a mistake, letting him go away. So now, actually I spent some time calculating bishop c3, as I said, queen a2, and now I can't take queen f6 due to queen a1 checkmate. I spent some time even calculating knight d2, but I didn't think it was that good. I saw knight d5 and I was like, okay, this is under attack, but apparently I had this, and now the best move is bishop d6. If he retakes back, I can take on d5 and queen a1 and b1. So yes, there were a couple of tricks, but I decided to go for bishop e3, more first option, and that was a huge mistake, and now the position is basically a huge zero. I had a winning position, and I messed it up completely. This is still not, I mean, this should be a draw. 10 out of 10 games, but I managed to find some tricks. Bishop e5, knight c4, bishop c6, attacking the rook, rook goes back, now bishop c3. I was just trying to move my pieces. Bishop h4, a4, bishop f2, rook d1, rook f1, and now bishop e3, king b1, rook d1 takes, bishop f4 takes, and as I said, there might be some ideas of going for checkmate. Bishop c6, bishop e5, rook d8 was a mistake, because now I have this move with the tempo. Bishop b6, rook b3. I first thought of maybe going for this, but then I noticed knight b7, so I first decided to maybe go this. Maybe he'll go king a7 and I'll just go for checkmate. By the way, I'm not sure if it's... because I thought maybe you might have this, but there's rook e8. I attack the rook and I keep 2 pieces on the board. So yes, rook b3, and I was like, okay, he might blunder. He goes knight b7, letting me take on b6, and immediately resigns. I would say it's a lucky win, but I should have won earlier in the game. Overall, I'm not happy. 23-25. It's another win in the book. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one next week. Bye bye.